Hi, welcome to what is going to be the first video of a very long quest to beat every factory game in the world. I don't know if I'll even be able to do that, but I will try my best. The first game of this long quest is Shapes 2. About 1 or 2 weeks ago, they released a 1.0 update. I haven't played it really. I'm going to start a new game, Insane difficulty. Yes, because I don't think any sane person would play with 1000% shape goal multipliers. It looks like our starting patch has some red and blue mixed together. Why don't they just make magenta paint right there? Anyway, these are all default settings. I didn't mess with any of these. So let's just go in and see what happens. Yes, I will not build any spaghetti factories because I hate spaghetti. Right off the bat, these two shapes take 12,500 shapes. And the final one takes 80,000. The thing with Insane is, well, a lot of these shapes are garbage to make without the cutter or swapper. So what I'll do is I'll make this first, which doesn't really require the cutter or swapper. And then I'll unlock the swapper first, probably make this one or whichever one. And I think I'll do all of these before doing the milestone. If I do that, I'll have the cutter, the swapper, the rotators, maybe the bent stacker, probably trash. Those are going to be all super useful. So in order to make this first one, I just need half red circles, which are right here, and half stars, which are right here. So here I have one notch of shapes coming out of all these miners. They're being split from the first and the second floor just so I can fill up this entire space belt. If I don't have 8 belts going into the vortex, it's just gonna suck. I should probably mention I have played this game before. I've been the normal and hard scenario. Obviously, that was before the update, so I don't have the badges for them. I might do that, maybe not though, because I don't want to have to rebeat them. I'm doing something similar for these shapes. I am once again splitting them between the first and second floors. I'm gonna fill up this entire space belt. Oh, oops, I forgot to cut out that. Okay, and there's a cutting problem because I forgot to cut out the quarter circle from that shape. Here is a blueprint for 8 stackers. It's pretty janky, but I don't really care. I have to use this weird layout because I don't have bent stackers. And of course I'll need 4 of these. And just like that, the first task is done. Now, all 8 notches of that shape should be delivered into the vortex. I'm not going to make 8 notches of everything because if I don't, it's just going to take way too long to make all these shapes. While I'm here, I might as well get started on the next part of the shape, which is just this full circle with half colored red. Look how fast that's going up, by the way. I barely finished setting this up and it's already done, basically. Having a 180 rotator would be pretty nice right about now. And just like that, more 8 notches of that shape. This is not spaghetti. I'm just placing it in a convenient spot right there. So just by lining up more stackers in front of the old ones, and the new shape which is being made right now, I'm now making the next part of the task. It's going to go in a few seconds. While I'm here, I might as well get started on the next part of the task, which needs another half red circle. But that's completely full. So I'm going to be using these two. Having the counterclockwise rotator would be pretty nice right about now. That is how you make a half red circle. It also needs a half star, so I'm going to take this as an opportunity to actually make this mining blueprint make a half star. Those are the half stars. I ran out of space for these 4 ones, so I had to do something strange here, but it worked out. If you're wondering, I am making a total of 3,800 per minute. And just like that, I had the next part of the shape already being made. So now once that's done, I can just slap on more stackers and it will just start working. Anyway, that's done, so copy paste this. Yeah, base I just realized can be a problem. That's okay. I just went ahead and gave all of these their own dedicated vortex line. I would love to start preparing for the next part of the shape. However, that's completely different from everything else. I'll have to just delete all this and then make the shape from scratch. You know what I don't understand about this 1.0 update? Why did they replace tasks with jobs? And now that's done. So yeah, what's convenient about the shape is that this middle layer is right here. Unfortunately, this red circle and star over here is not right here. This is mirrored, so that's not the right shape. It really sucks. If I had the swapper, I could fix that. So I've just made a discovery in that this half and this half are right here. Just cut out that part and rotate it, you get this. Cut out some unnecessary star quarter, you get this. You can just stack them, and then that's that shape right there. I'm also going to need another one of these shapes for the top layer, so I'll just do all this again. Well, that's unfortunate. I have 7 miners here. I need 8. So I have finally made those 2. Now all I have to do is grab this shape and we'll be done. Look at that, it's so convenient. It's even in the right orientation. The uncolored one is in the top left, and the miner is also in the top left. How embarrassing that'll be after all that I accidentally made the wrong shape. Okay, that's correct. Now I just have to wait a long time for it to receive 25,000 of those. I have this shape, I'm cutting it in half. I'm using this half of it. I have this shape, I'm cutting out 1/4 of it, so I get this. And then I stack those and get that. I make 2 full space slots of that because this has 2 layers of that. Top layer and the bottom layer. And they go into the where I have a convenient shape right here that's getting stacked in the middle. This is going on the bottom, this is getting stacked on top, and then this gets stacked on top to make what we need. And it looks like they just started writing. And my stacker looper is not very, it's not very fast. It takes a while to get fully saturated. I have just noticed a problem. There's a problem. Whenever I play this game, I always make silly mistakes like that. So now that I did that task, I can get Swapper. Perfect. And if I do the first thing of this task, I'll get 100 more research credits, and then I can get the cutter. So I think I'll do this task next. So yeah. So I'm gonna pull the left half this shape, the quarter red circle, and that gray square from over here. I use this shape to get the right half of it. So I'm just gonna, yeah. I'm gonna be very wasteful because after this I can restart and get the cutter and make it more optimal. Being this wasteful really hurts. Okay, now that I have those 2 parts of the shape, I'm gonna make a swapper platform so that I can actually combine them. Or I could stack them, that sounds like a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And there we go. Just like that, I have first task shape. It's gonna start going in pretty soon. Once it fills up really fast. And done. Now I can get the cutter. Perfect. Next I'll probably get these reverse rotators and 180 rotator. See ya. Okay, so using some solvers, I cut out one of the blue quarters of this shape because you see gray, blue, gray, and then a red circle. So the red circle is gonna go right there. And don't forget to rotate them the right way. And here I am grabbing more quarter red squares from over here. Now here's something cool. If I cut out the bottom left of this, then I'll get exactly what I need right there. Conveniently, that's exactly what this blueprint does. It cuts out the bottom left corner, I think. Perfect. I am once again missing 1 extra miner for the red circle, so I guess I'll just get it from here and then get some of these circles in. Now how do I make a swapper blueprint for those? Alright, it took a bit of tinkering, but I got a swapper layout to actually make that thing. I forgot to rotate it. Perfect. After designing all that, I'm wondering, was it really worth it? Yes. So now that I have all that, I'll just get this quarter blue circle or square from over here. Just like that, I have the top layer. Wait, the bottom layer is all the way over here. Well, that's like across the map. Just like that, we have made the next task shape. Now I just have to wait a bit for it to go in. They're starting to go in, and I'm gonna start working on the next part of the shape, which is this top layer. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay, I'm mining this shape and then using this stacker thing. It's just a slightly modified version of the other one that I made for these ones and these ones. Instead of cutting out the bottom left, it's cutting out the bottom right. Now what's the most efficient way to get 1/4 square? Yes, now this is optimal. I'm gonna figure out this math is wrong somehow, even though it's totally correct. Perfect. Now I can just slap on this new shape onto the other one. And done. Perfect. I would get started on the next part of the shape, but that's completely different from everything else. And then even the next one is completely different. That's a pretty common theme in Insane scenario, and even hard mode. You see, like, that has a shape, this is slightly building off of it, this is slightly building off of that. That's completely different. Same thing here. Something building off of that, building off of that. Completely different, completely different. You'll see that a lot, like, over here, over here. Looks fine, looks fine. But if you go further down, yeah, a lot of them just are not related to the previous one in any way. Oh, I forgot to connect them. Would have been nice. I can't wait. What? I can't wait to get train delivery. Right? Done. And see ya. So I just went ahead and bought the counterclockwise rotator so I can do this. But I still don't have the 180 rotator. Okay, now that I have these two, I'm gonna do something really silly. How do I turn this into a checkerboard? Okay, I've made this. Now the question is, can I route everything? The answer is no, I can't. Okay, I decided I'm gonna make this easy on myself. So instead of making an intricate blueprint to instantly turn this half blue thing and half red thing into what I need, I'm just gonna take the easy way out and turn them into this and another diagonal and then stack them. There we go. See how much easier that was? Just turn them into this bow tie and then stack them. Wow, if only I did that from the start. So guess what? I have 8 notches of circles right here and 7 right here. I need more circles. If you don't have the trash, just erase the shape using the half destroyer. It also has the added benefit of working on the second floor and third floor. Okay, here's the problem. I need a full red circle in the middle right there. However, this is as good as it gets. I'll have to get a quarter red circle from here and put it in there. I could do some intricate swappery and get this quarter red circle into that corner right there. Or I can do it easier. If you don't have the trash, just use the half destroyer twice. Now that is machinery. So to recap what I've been doing, I just made 8 notches of this red half circle, And I also have 8 notches of this red half circle. When I combine them, I'll get 8 notches of a full red circle. I realized I need to rotate this. There we go, it is now rotated. I can just stack these and then be done with it. Now I have a full red circle. I'm gonna plug it in here. Alright, so I have everything I need. I'm going to stack these uncolored circles right here. That should make what I need. Yep. I'm going to stack these red circles right here. That should make what I need. Yep. I'm gonna stack uncolored circles right here. Perfect. That took way longer than it should have because I was messing around. So, can someone explain to me why this belt is empty? The problem traces back all the way over here. Huh. Huh. I found the problem. I never sent that to the second floor. Well, fixing it now is going to do absolutely nothing. That is mildly infuriating. Okay, finally. That was slower than everything else. And now I have to tear down all this because that's not what I need anymore. I decided I'm going to keep that and that because I'll actually need those red portions for this final shape. Right now they're in their half form, but I can just cut them up, turn them into bow ties, and then stack them in. Now that is a layout. Okay, that's one full space belt, but I need 2. And that's another full space belt of that obtained. So I just made the third layer of the shape, which is that thing right over here. I cut out this quarter from this circle, I got this bow tie. Cut out the star from here, got that bow tie square thing, and I have that. I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to turn these into bow ties. That was easy. Now I have all the parts for the final shape ready here. I just have to stack them all. First off, these blue bow ties go on top of that thing. And then some red bow ties go on top of it. Then whatever this shape is goes on it. Then more blue bow ties go on it. Then more red bow ties go on it. That is the shape in question. This looks a little scuffed. I built it too close to the vortex and the inputs are coming from all over the place, but it worked out. Send it in and we now have a... Okay, I found the problem. Okay, I solved it. The problem was I forgot to make the second layer of this, so only the bottom layer was going out. Okay, now I should have a full vortex of that shape. Yes, we do. I can't tell if these gaps are caused by the stackers not being evened out or if something's wrong. Because my stacker blueprint is, the way it works is it's very, well, it just takes a long time to even out. But it looks like it's working good. I wish there was a fast forward button. Well, that's done. It looks like the gaps were just caused by unevenness, but it's fully resolved now. Now I will do monochrome spikers because it looks pretty easy. Half the shape's already made. There's one problem, that's over here it needs a full star and a half star. But there aren't that many stars in the starting area. There's that one, and this one. You'll have to make do. Well, maybe I'll get a cutting platform and separate the stars and with quarter circles from over here. We will get there when we get there. That is a half star. I just have to connect it to this bow tie right there. Well, that was easy. I just have to put a rotating platform over here and then stack those, and it's done. Now it's time for 2 more minutes of waiting. And done. I noticed the problem with the next part of the shape, and that is I can't stack this part of this gray square because it's gonna fall to the first layer. So I'll have to stack it onto the bow tie first and then drop that onto the star. Kind of like that, and then you can get more of them. That's the wrong direction. What am I doing? Yes, now that is optimal for putting on top. I don't know why I'm building so close to the vortex. I feel like I would have a way easier time if I was building out of the way. It's not my fault this is where all the shapes are lining up. Alright, I spent the time while this was making to make this miner optimal and get a lot of stars out of it. But it turns out you can only fit 8 notches here and 7. It was just as I feared. Wait a second. I just need 1 more. That's all the stars I'll need. Well, I was panicking over nothing apparently, and I wasted all that time making this optimal when I could have just used this. Okay, it turns out my panic was justified because I just realized I need a full star. I don't know where I thought I was getting full stars from, but yeah, I don't have any. This is 8 notches of that half star, and yeah, I need more. Alright, no matter how I would look at this, I'm not getting this perfect efficiency. Luckily, I spotted a full star somewhere. Now, getting it over here is going to cost 100 platform units. Not to mention it's going to take probably 10 minutes to reach here. But it's worth it for max efficiency. That also means all the time I spent here optimizing that is useless. So I just plugged in the full stars onto this new stacker row. Yep, that is what I need. So it's going to take like... I actually don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, that's going to take a while. So yeah, I'm going to be back. Okay, it finally started going in. I was at 3 hours 13 minutes of playtime, I think. And now it's just not going in. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to finish. Yes, that is a full belt of stars. Very good. Assuming nothing else broke, which it shouldn't have, that should be done pretty soon. And done. Okay, now that that's done, I can tear down, honestly, most of this, because see how that's completely different. I just need this full red circle, which I can make from these 2 bow ties, and add the stars and half stars right there. That's a full red circle. No, stop it. I guess I have to do the forbidden technique. There we go. Oh. Don't question it. Now I am technically breaching my contract and building spaghetti. Sorry. Now I'm noticing the next part of the shape just requires these blue half things, well, bow ties, 2 of them, and a full square, which I have right here coincidentally. These are from one of the previous tasks. Yeah, I think it was from this one and I just never deleted it. Well, it's useful now. And while that's running, I can just stack them, all these three together, and then once that's done, I can just get this full star and stack it on top. So now I just have to reroute these stars from around there. I realized I could have just done something like this. Too late now. Anyway, this just has to go here, which I've already laid out. Now, since we're here, I'm going to talk about this last shape. It's 2 full red circles. And in order to get that, I can just cut out the quarter uncolored circle from here, and then stack this on it. And in order to get the other one, I just have to extract another 8 notches of this, and then stack this on it. Shouldn't be that hard. I thought it would be a problem, but it turns out I have just the right amount. Since I don't need this anymore, I might as well rework it now while this other shape is working. Not even a challenge. Now I have to rework all this. You know what? Since I need it, I'm gonna buy the 180 rotator. Would be nice to have in the future too. I just realized I didn't even do that right now. That was stupid. Okay, let me just store it right there. These two, yeah, I'll store them as well. Okay, I stored them all the way over there. I don't know why I jumped the gun and started making this sound. That was a bit silly of me. You know what? I might as well just do that first. Because I already have there are these blue bow ties. None of the other ones have it. That sounds like a funny idea. Let's do it. I'm going to get rid of this star belt and get 100 med platform units back. Full circle obtained. That was easy. Not so much insane scenario, more like free scenario. Oh, it's done. I was just messing around. Anyway, I can now probably tear down all of that. I can get these red circles from over here, just cut out that half. I have the bow tie right there. I can use swappers to turn it straight. Yeah, those uncolored circles also wouldn't be a problem. I could cut that in half using the cutter, or I could just use this twice, cut out that quarter. I think I'll use this one so that everything's on this side. So, yeah. I have to rework this again. Easy. While I'm here, I might as well rework this to turn it into actually what I need. That is exactly what I need. It always takes forever. Oh. I'm sure I'll be fine. Right, time to see ya. Because I have to more or less... Yeah, it's pretty different. I just realized stacking them in a row I've been doing, because that is overhanging. I have to stack those first, then I can... Right, there's that. I decided to stack these first. Whoops. Okay, I've done a bit of a silly when lining all this up, so I have to do something really... Yeah. This is not spaghetti. There we go. What I did was I stacked both of these right here because what the hell not. Then I stacked them on top of each other because they are over here. And then I tried to stack this blue one, but I realized that has to go on the bottom. And this blueprint works by the bottom being over here, this goes on top. So yeah, I had to make a little jank over here. Now I just have to wait for this to be done, and now this whole task is done because I did this already. With this milestone, it's pretty weird what you have to do. You have to make this shape twice, one over here, and then one to stack on top of that. And then you have this shape, and then this bow tie stacked on top of another bow tie. And you stack them onto the opposite part, but then on the final shape, you see I have these blue, gray, blue, gray. I have both of them right here. This is stacked on top of the wrong one. And this bow tie on top of this other shape is also stacked onto the wrong one. But yeah, you kind of turn them into parts of two stacked on each other like this. So I have 4 parts, that one, so one on these two, and then something over here. Oh. And I can claim both of them. And yeah. Now I've done all the tasks. That took me 4 hours 30 minutes. Yeah, we're finally now starting on this milestone. I would love to have more notches of input, but I can't because 1, there's not enough shapes. 2, that requires me to buy more vortex inputs, which I don't want to do because I want to get the 3rd machine level. So yeah. Anyway, this milestone is not too bad. Problem is going to be delivering 80,000. It's going to take a long time. Oh, that's exactly what I need. I have noticed a problem, and that is, if I'm delivering these 2 shapes at once, I don't have enough inputs. What to do about that? I guess I'll just let this first shape finish. I have that done. What do you mean that's incorrect? No, that's correct. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna start making the neck part of the shape. Yeah, because I have it right here. So here's my plan for this shape. I have this blueprint right here. That's gonna separate that into blue and gray squares. I'll use swapper platforms, turn them into bow ties, and then stack them on top of each other. It's gonna be extremely optimal. But first I need 4 reloads. Before I forget. I've made so many bow tie makers. I should probably save a blueprint for this. Alright, I now have bow ties of all those shapes. Best part is, I can just do that. Never mind. There we go. Look how optimal that is. Why is this half efficiency? What happened here? Huh? Oh, why am I silly? Let's make it actually optimal. Like that. I don't know how I didn't notice that when I was making the blueprint. I guess if I make something optimal, I have to make something unoptimal to compensate. But that's done. I forgot to send this over, so now it's gonna be suboptimal. I have to wait even more. That is a laggy blueprint. Okay, that one's done. I'm gonna plug that in. I already have it prepared. Alright, I just went ahead and prepared the next part of the shape, which is these two stacked circle bow tie things. I did that by getting a full circle, separating them in half like this, turn them into a bow tie, and then stacking them similar to what I did over here. And now I'm making 8 notches of this. Very optimal. I'm pretty sure I'm going overboard on the shapes, but this one makes sense to me. Looks like that's done. I rerouted that over there so it'd be cleaner. Now I can just stack these on top of each other. Well, that was easy. Okay, now that's done. I needed that. Now all I have to do is combine all the parts together in the correct way, and now that milestone is done. I have no space. I have both of those sides. I just have to rotate this to the side a little bit. Where's my rotator? Yep, and I can just stack them. It's done. Now, how long will it take to make 80,000 shapes? Well, if we're making 3840 shapes per minute, I believe. And we have 80,000, so we need to do actually 80, nope, 80,000 divided by 384. 20.83 minutes, so nearly 21 minutes of just sitting here. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, left the game running for about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Mostly because I wanted the shapes to build up for the operator level. The reason I'm doing that is because without more vortex inputs, I can't really keep sending the shape in. And if I need some of the shapes for the next few tasks or this, then yeah, I just won't have space or the resources to keep this running. So hopefully they kept building up even though I haven't unlocked the milestone. I'm pretty sure they do. Let's find out. Okay. Yes, I have painting. And that is indeed the case. I have been building this up. Quite a bit of levels from. And I can get third machine level. Unfortunately, I still need more to get that. That's sorry. I was hoping to get the. Oh well, I'll leave this running for a couple more minutes then. Done. I can get Met Stacker. I think that's a lot of progress for this episode. If you want to support this quest to beat every factory game, then definitely subscribe. Thanks for watching.